Good morning, everybody. I'm Jeremy Nielsen. I'm with the Radiological Society of North America. Just going to take a few minutes to talk to you, follow in Patty's footsteps a little bit, and give you a bit of a journal perspective. Talk to you about how at the RSNA we've taken articles that have been previously published in one of our flagship journals and repackaged them, added some supplemental materials and some educational components, and pretty much put out to the medical marketplace for a fee. So this was a really exciting project that we undertook, and I think for different societies that may be interested in doing something like this, it's really important to think about, to take into consideration the makeup of the society as a whole, because that really drives a lot of the decisions that get made in terms of how to develop a product like this. So for the RSNA, it's the largest society of radiologists, a really strong membership base, pretty diverse with the international membership as well, and they also represent a lot of subspecialties. So it's not just radiology, but there are numerous subspecialties. So there's a lot of content and a lot of needs that we really need to meet. Benefits and membership are pretty substantial too, which is also a consideration that's going to come into play later on when I touch on a few of the slides about why we decided to do this, some of the challenges we faced, a lot of the considerations. The annual meeting, admission to the annual meeting, which is one of the largest medical meetings out there, held every year at McCormick Place in Chicago, close to 50,000 attendees every year. Admission to the annual meeting is included with a membership. All educational content is free, and access to RSNA publications as well. So this is our headquarters here, if I can get this to work. The third floor there, that's where the publications area is, right below where the sun's shining. So. Not too hot, just perfect. So yeah, we have a mission at RSNA to promote excellence in patient care and healthcare delivery through education, research, technological innovation. That's really delivered primarily through our journals, or one of the key ways it's delivered is through our two journals that we publish, Radiology, which is the clinical scientific journal. Radiographics is more on the educational side, really important for residents, really get a lot of use out of the radiographics. So the third edition to that now is what we've called Radiology Select. And just to give you a quick idea of what is Radiology Select, so you kind of have a better idea what I'm talking about, essential articles that have been previously published in radiology. We have guest editors select these articles. They're arranged into topical collections, so right now they're based on subspecialty. We've added educational component to these as well now, so questions are written and submitted, and when you have the option to get educational credit, which is very important for radiologists. They crave educational content, they crave content in certain subspecialties as well. And then we've added supplemental material with editorials, videos, those types of things as well. I think it's important to note that on the bottom there should be a little bit bigger, that this is not the best of the best. We didn't just take the most cited articles or the ones that got the most usage in a certain area. These are really cultivated by a guest editor and really looked at on a total picture as to how these articles really relate to each other. So reading one article, obviously it's in radiology, it's really important, but when you read it compared to another article, it really adds a lot more to the meaning of a particular topic. So why did we decide to do something like this? A lot of it came from the vision of our editor of radiology, Dr. Kressel, who was really has always been interested in looking for ways to really advance the discussion of the science. So not just leave it right where the article is, in trying to find more ways, including just having comments on an article, but really, show the development of the science, possibly from, what's changed from 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, and really find more ways to contribute to the understanding of the development of, for this case, medical imaging, radiologic science. There's also, an opportunity to deliver additional educational opportunities, which we were really excited about as well. Stepping away from the editorial side of things and more practical kind of publication side, this was a new product, and I have a bit of a sales background. it's always great to have something new to sell and present to people who are interested in your content. That was really exciting, and from the production standpoint. We had some opportunities to experiment with some new technologies maybe and some new content delivery methods. So that was, it really had a lot of the interest of the whole group, and we were really excited and really ready to move forward with a project like this. So this all started essentially about the beginning of 2011 is when we decided to really move forward with Radiology Select, and we had to think of everything from the beginning. We had to come up with a name for it. Formats, that was a big consideration as well. Was this finally going to be a product that we were going to produce that was digital only, that did not have any print component? Following the trends of a lot of other publishers, or print numbers have been declining. So is there really a need for print here? How would mobile come into play here? Even 2 years ago, mobile was, it's a big topic now. It was really huge back then. What's going to happen with mobile solutions? And then internally identifying the resources to put this together. We really felt this is something that we wanted to be able to do just within our own offices and not really outsource anything. Aside from guest editor input, we had the capabilities we felt in place to pull this off. But we also had to consider that we were going to need to now rely on other departments outside of publications, educational departments, information systems for some website assistance and those types of things. And the impact on the workflows, this is all new. Everybody else has their jobs that they were doing. How is that really going to come into play, and was it going to be possible? So the challenges that we realized in doing this from the beginning, again, everything setting this up. We weren't going to be able to do this unless we had a deputy editor in place to really spearhead this from the editorial perspective. And once we're fortunate to have that in place, everything kind of cascaded down, roles were assigned, but we really had to put a lot of thought into the production schedules, and again with the workflows, a lot of disruptions to that. Educational approval, which was going to be the big value add to this project, kind of like the App Store almost, where we had to get the educational content submitted to the ABR, the American Board of Radiology, ahead of time, and we had to build that into the workflow, so we had all of that information ahead of time, and so we could get approved and be available for our users to get that credit that we were really going to tout. And then our annual meeting. Like I said, annual meeting's huge, basically from August on. Unless you're doing critical work, you're probably doing something for the annual meeting. So resources are really going to get tight around August time. So the point at the bottom there, business models, that was the really key thing as well. So now there was a decision that this was going to be something we were going to charge our members for, and we were really uncertain how that was going to go over. But a lot was really riding on how we could monetize this. Always looking for, like other publisher society is always looking for ways to add additional revenue streams. So charging members was going to be a really interesting thing to see how that was going to play out. So like I said, it took about a year, and all the work kind of culminated in early 2012, where we did launch our first volume of Radiology Select, Pulmonary Nodules. We decided to make it available in all three formats. For print, just print on demand. The tablet version as well, just no phone, just we developed a tablet version through Adobe Digital Publishing, and an online version, and let's see, we decided to offer a free tablet download with the purchase of an online edition. The educational component was only available with the online edition as well, so while we still had the print, we wanted to keep the arrow, the needle more pointed towards the online and the digital offerings. And we developed a pricing matrix where we did charge, we did have a fee for members. The fee for non-members was, a little bit more, so they could still see the value of something like this as being a member. So after we launched, we had a soft launch on February 2nd. Somebody actually bought it, and that was really a big deal. I mean, like, my colleagues are here, my boss is here too, but that was part of the thing, is like, it was really great to see that a lot of work that went into it, that we did have some initial sales for it. It was really encouraging. Right away we had 15 members purchase it. We had, as far as the tablet version, with the Adobe DPS, we had a promotional version. A lot of people may have seen like National Geographic or something like that, where you can get a promo version, and then you have the options to maybe buy some additional issues. We're kind of set up like that. So we had a lot of downloads of the promotional version. We saw a lot of interest there. We had 6 purchases for the tablet version. The Android installations, not quite as much. No purchases there right away, but we had 5 individuals claim educational credit as well. So all the things that we were really concerned about happening actually happened. We were really excited about that. So we did an e-blast to our members as one of the many ways we looked at promoting this. There were, based on the feedback that we received from our members, we realized that we had a lot of work to do if we were going to move forward with this. There's a lot to communicate. At $55 per series, I'm able to pick and choose which one I want, or do I need to buy all the series. These are just one-off products, so this is just Radiology Select pulmonary nodules. That's all you have to choose. And so kind of changing that mentality from the subscription type of approach. How do I do the CME part if I do the tablet version? Again, it wasn't available on the tablet version yet, so we really use this feedback to refine a lot of our messaging. And of course, the inevitable, the articles in the new Radiology Select series are available to RSNA members for free online. While I appreciate the RSNA's need to remain profitable, I believe the RSNA should make this series available to members for no additional charge other than membership dues. So again, more work that we need to do to really communicate the value of a product like this. So we were really encouraged overall by how this product was received, and we've continued. Pulmonary nodules, I mentioned that the early first quarter of 2012 was launched. In July of 2012, we launched Radiology Select Stroke. In January of 2013 of this year, we launched Radiology Select Coronary Artery Disease, and then in July this year, we'll have breast cancer screening available as well. So that kind of brings us up to date as to where we are with Radiology Select. We were really, again, really excited about this project, and we really thought that this was going to be the result for a lot of when we launched, but it ended up really being more like this. And, we still have a lot of work to do, and we have a lot of, things that we want to work on, which I'll touch on here. But, orders, what we saw from our orders was really interesting. And sorry, the number's a little bit small. So these aren't declining orders. That's volume 1, 2, and 3 on the bottom there. So what you can see is the orders that have been, or the volumes that have been in existence the longest, still see the most orders. And so what we've really learned is that people are still purchasing volume 1 today. And so we're kind of using that information and that data to, or to look at how we're approaching the market. These aren't just going to be one-off types of purchases, which we kind of thought might take place. The tablet activity, it really mirrors the order activity. I broke it out a little bit just to show the difference between iPad and Android, which is really small. I think a lot of that might have to do with the mobile apps that we have now are just available on iPad and iPhone. So real quick, some lessons learned that we learned from this. There are different purchase patterns, and we really thought that based on the subspecialty with, like, let's say Radiology Select, stroke, that somebody with more of a neuroradiology interest would just be interested in Radiology Select Stroke. That really wasn't the case. For our last annual meeting, we had print editions of Volume 1 and 2 available. I didn't even bring them here because they were so heavy, but there were radiologists, buying them up and just walking around with them because they wanted the series. And so that's, again, something else for us to think about going forward. Need to give time to gain traction. That's really not a lesson learned, but a lot of work really did go into this, and so we've already started talking about scaling back to maybe 1 a year, just because of the work that gets involved with coordinating with the guest editors to get them to select the articles, coordinating with all the internal production people and everything like that. The tablet formats is just kind of an example of, I think at the beginning of 2011 when we started working on the first tablet edition, there was iPad 2, I think, and now we're at 3 or 4 or something like. So we had to, always go back and make sure that the different versions that we create, are compatible with the different iPad versions. And so what we're considering for the future, this is just almost like a random list of things, a lot of things. This is, again, it's really exciting. So now we have a good set of data. We have a good, a little bit more confidence. The learning curves of doing a lot of this are a lot smaller. So we're looking at everything from an improved online experience to enhanced educational delivery methods. We're looking, from a business side, ways to reach outside of membership, maybe changing our business models to address some of the interest in more than just one particular volume, making more use of the videos that we have recorded. A lot of the videos are either through video podcasts or videos that are recorded at our annual meeting, kind of that was one of the big value adds in addition to the educational part of it. And that was really behind the wall a little bit, so to speak, of the product. Maybe now we're talking about taking those and using those for more of the promotional, making those available to promote Radiology Select. Again, a business-related type of thing, converting some of those people who just download the promotional version to get them to actually purchase the tablet version. CME would probably help with that as well. And then kind of the holy grail of this at the bottom there is finding a way that if we can possibly sell this to institutions, that would be a really great opportunity for us. So we're exploring a lot of these different opportunities, and again, we're really excited about it. And this is kind of a high level, but if you have any specific questions or have a show demo and all those kinds of things, happy to do that as well. So appreciate your time, and thanks for waiting for the break.